Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Matt
and
Ruben
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you all the chaos of Friday.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Totally organised. All set.
It sounds like, and I'm just trying to get confirmation from Ruben, that we dropped out of one and into another live
I
stream.
think we may have.
So,
But is everyone still here? Maybe do a poll, Ruben. Are you in this
Are you
live?
I think that's one of those questions that kind of, you've kind of already got the group that's here. So
This is a VIP group.
that's it. Yeah.
so did everyone come across, or have we abandoned some people?
Well, I think I deleted the other one, so there's nowhere else. They'll find their way
Alright.
here eventually, I think.
So survival of the fittest.
That's it.
Sorry about that.
The reason it's a little bit weird this week, and I'm still going to try and sort it all out, is we are also live over on Twitter, and that looks like that's working. X, sorry, I
Yeah.
just offended everyone.
Yes.
But yeah,
FKA Twitter.
I believe it is. I believe it is working, so that's good. We can stream to multiple places now.
Unreal. So can you? Well, because we can't see. Is there a chat in the X?
There
Thing?
is. I have a separate
Oh,
separate
wow.
chat. Although
Is anyone looking? Can
I
we?
don't think there's anyone
don't
over
think-
there at this stage.
I don't
So
think we have a booming presence
well, this is how we start.
over there. Well, that's right. It's true.
But yeah, welcome to Friday, everyone.
Can you send out notifications to everyone again, or does it do that automatically?
No, it should do that automatically.
Ah, okay.
Perfect.
Paul Michael with a beard or shave it off. Well, it's getting very close to being shaved off anyway, probably over Christmas.
He's got a Santa Claus it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of hung around.
For those listening on Spotify, Michael has a beard.
But only just. I'm 51 and I've only been able to grow a beard for about the last 6 months of my life.
Oh,
Prior to
make
that,
the
it was
most
all
of it.
patchy. So that's why I've actually grown it, because I was so excited I could actually grow a full beard, finally.
Good stuff. People are already asking you to shave it. That's a bit rough.
He was just happy to be able to do it. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, dear. How you been, Matt?
Yeah, good. Rarely a dull moment, particularly in this weird and wonderful industry. There's always something exciting happening. And this week seems to have been, I commented on it when we had our morning debrief, Bullion Now is just non-stop on the YouTube front. You know, there were weeks where we'd do the live and we'd talk about the one video that came out that week, but it seems to be every other day now.
Bam, bam, bam.
So supply, I take it, is on the up and up. We're not, scrounging for stock anymore.
It's kind of a case of when it rains, it pours, I think.
Yeah.
I think everything has just come through all at once, and it's like, oh, we're running out of time for the year.
All that stuff held up in Treasury.
Well, I
Came
actually
through.
think it's Border Force. All of a sudden, Border Force has realised they've got to clear all these boxes before Christmas. So,
Yeah, geez,
like,
so
just
they can get
them out
backed
the door.
up once again. Yeah.
Because it's pretty much all international stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just like we're not getting normally we get 1 or 2 deliveries of international stuff a week at least.
Yeah.
We're getting 1, 2, 3 deliveries a day at the moment.
Oh, perfect.
So it's hold on to your hats. So
no shortage of variety then.
well, this is it. And the problem is Ruben's been having a go at me for the last couple of days saying, well, do you want to release unboxings or do you want to release some education? Because, we're flooding them and people are going, help.
Yeah, absolutely. It is hard.
I
You've got
need
to
to
budget
keep some
out.
money. So we kind of don't know what to do. And now we're rushing up towards the end of shipping for the year.
Oh, yeah. So what is the deadline? What's the last date?
Monday morning.
Well,
You have to have
all
your
right.
payments into us by Monday morning for us to guarantee, as close as we can guarantee,
Yeah.
that we'll have it processed and shipped out that week. Because the last
Wow.
shipping day that we're having is the 15th, which is next Friday. So you've got to get your stuff in and orders in. So I don't know. We're getting I wouldn't say we're getting pushback, but we are kind of, it's like when you're at the beach and you see someone waving in the water. They haven't drowned yet, but they're getting close.
That's a very good way to put it.
So, Craig, we do have the 2 ant unicorns. They landed yesterday, and that was actually the one that caused an animated discussion this morning as to, what do you want me... Poor Ruben. What do you want me to do? Get ready for live stream, film unboxings, get your B-roll ready. Like, you know, give me a break here. So
Yeah, they seem rather upset. They sent an email at like 4 a.m. and we haven't responded to yet, so they're starting to wonder what they do with their order for the 2 anti-unicorns. Are we going to be releasing them before the shipping cutoff then? Or
yeah, look, very, very quietly, we are going to release them within the next 24 hours. We're not going to do a video on them. We're just going to release them straight to the web. We've got the 2 ounce and the 10 ounce, I believe, in stock. And the platinum, I think, as well. We will release those to the website. You'll see them within the next 24 hours or so. I was just looking before we came on stream if the listing was ready to go, because I was going to announce it. It's all ready to go except for the pricing, which they're waiting on me for. So after the end of the stream, I'll try and get the pricing through to the team, and we should have them listed, like I said, within the next 24 hours.
someone's pointed out we made a boo-boo, Michael.
Just one?
No
Yeah.
way.
Trevor Phillips, hi guys, pleasure dealing with BN. Notice that the Tiger Snake is listed as 2023. Should be 2024. 100% correct. It is a 2024 coin.
Oh, we've got to update that.
So
Yeah, look out.
We'll have to update that one. Thank you very much. Any cutoff date time for picking up in store?
Oh, that's not a fair one. Look, technically,
fair one.
It's a good one, huh?
Look, technically, we're open until the 23rd of December, so you can come in and pick up to your heart's content all the way through to the 23rd. But honestly, I can see the 23rd being chaos, and we're only open till 1 o'clock because it's a Saturday. So I would suggest for your patience and our sanity that if you're going to pick up, you try and do it before the 23rd while the full team's here and we're able to, multiple people can help you and make sure the stuff's pulled out of storage. But look, if the 23rd's the only day you can get in, preferably send us an email beforehand so it can be pulled out of storage and it's waiting for you when you arrive. Otherwise, it could be an extended wait while the guys get everything organised for you and out the door.
Here we go. There's a question there for you, Matt. Question for Matt. Was my birthday on the weekend and I got gifted 5 1966 50-cent coins. Are they worth anything?
They are indeed. First and foremost, happy birthday.
There
Well
you go.
done.
Well done.
Yeah, nice one.
That's good.
So they are approximately 1/3 of an ounce of silver is the content of those. So they're made up of 80% silver. They have a slight premium attached to them. So unless you have really, really nice uncirculated ones, that is to say that they're in a similar condition as the day they were produced, they can command a bit of a collector's premium. But for the most part, they're just traded mostly based on the bullion value. So somewhere in the order of about $12 to $14 or thereabouts off the top of my head. But historically significant, the one and only round 50 cent ever issued for circulation.
Well, and the first 50 cent as well. It's
Wow, exactly, yeah.
And the only circulation one made of silver.
That's correct, yeah. Well, see, the list goes on. So whoever gave you that gift,
Yeah, I was actually going to comment that that's a legendary gift.
that is rock solid. It's got your ticks off bullion, history, Australian currency history. Look out.
Yeah.
I feel very old saying it, and I really haven't been in the industry that long to be saying this, but I almost a bit of a, back in my day. But I remember when I started, I used to see bags and bags of those things. They used to come back through. We used to see a whole lot of them. And they were awesome back then. But yeah, that's it. I haven't seen any in the same kind of quantities, in the last couple of years, really.
No, it's dried right up. I think the last silver price boom, if you want, I use that term very loosely. I think that dragged a lot of that sort of stuff out of people's sock cupboard and, that sort of stuff. So I think a lot of them have already left. What do they say in crypto? The loose hands or the
Diamond hands,
the
paper hands.
The non-diamond hands have kind of been shaken loose with those things, and so they're a little bit hard to come hold of these days.
Well, I saw footage of a news report from back then in '66 of they were commenting on the fact that the silver value was greater than 50 cents, and there was footage of people loading up those what are they? It's not a Hessian sack. It's like a those bank bags.
Oh, the cloth ones.
Yeah, the cloth bags, just loading them up with all the 50s, taking them from the teller at the bank, and then going, next door or downstairs straight into the vault and putting them aside. So, yeah, there's probably a few of those that have been, as you say, shaken loose over the years.
Well, I saw doco fairly recently about people, particularly. This one was actually focused on a particular billionaire in the US who was stacking nickels.
Really?
Large quantities of nickels, because the theory is that eventually the Americans are going to realise how much money they're losing by producing, a 1 cent piece. And so they're going to be taken from the circulation.
Yep.
And apparently in the States at that point, they can be melted down. So they reckon that the return is, multiples of the face value sort of thing. So apparently this is becoming the thing in the US.
So they will effectively, they'll, they'll demonetize it, it not in the sense, because we don't use the 1 and 2 cents anymore, but they're still legal tender.
Well,
in the US, they'll...
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if they don't become legal tender anymore, or if it's not a current...
you can do with it as you please.
You can kind of do with it whatever you like. And so it sounds like these guys are stacking them to sell back to the refinery when they are no longer money.
Hey, cool. That's interesting. The more you know.
Useless information.
Yeah. Didn't take us long to get down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's right. There's a good question. Who's the diamond hands at BN?
Oh, I think everyone has a little bit of diamond in their hands around here. I don't know that there's any. I think when you're around this type of conversation, particularly amongst the ranks here, everyone has, different perspectives on stacking, but I think the overall consensus is that it's a good thing. I think it'd be a tough gig, I think, working for a company such as Bullion Now.
Getting peer pressured into buying bullion.
Even if, you didn't want to, you'd end up, starting to... And like you say, Michael, when people come into the shop and they say, I just want my bang for my buck. Oh, hang on. You realise there was a, 50th anniversary of Kiss coin.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, 1 leads to 2, leads to a whole stack. And next thing you know, you look at your hands, they're diamonds. So
it does make me laugh if we ever get any work done or anything like that and need, something done by someone else. They come in and they'll take a look at the shop, and while they're doing their job or whatever, they'll be like, oh, how much is that worth? It's even just someone starting and doing like a little small job for us, whether that's, whatever it is. Even they start to have the gears turn for them, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, we had security guys in today doing a bit of maintenance on our security system. And that was exactly what happened. One of the guys came into my office, shut the door, and went, "Are they real gold bars back there?" Well, yeah, we're a bullion dealer.
Yeah, funny that.
Oh, what are they? Wow, what are they worth? And can I get one? And so it was exactly what you just said. It's interesting.
Absolutely. We've got quite a few email questions that have come through, and questions from people this week, which is good. We had one from a video that we released yesterday. It was just some random ones. It says, did last week's record high for gold in USD affect Bullion Now much as far as sales or buybacks? Do we see a bit of an uptick in either because of gold price shooting up?
We kind of touched on this I think it was the last live stream, where we had, when gold first broke $3,000 Australian an ounce, we saw a sudden rush of buybacks coming through the door as people cleared everything out, thinking, it's at $3,000. That's my trigger point. I'll get rid of it. And then it kind of like hovered around. I think it dropped below 3, came back again, waffled around a little bit, and then this time it seems that the push back up from last week when it went through 2,000 US. Obviously, it had a similar impact on the Australian dollar version of it. And we saw a lot of buybacks start coming in again. We had a big flood of them late last week and into early this week, which is good. I mean, we like buybacks. It's
absolutely.
It gives us interesting things to sort through, but it also gives us a cheaper alternative for our customer base. They don't have to pay the higher premiums for things. They can get a buyback at a slightly better price. So it's a win-win all around.
And similarly, it stumps a lot of people when they come in and they say, I just want a cheap bar. And I say, do you want to have a look at the buybacks first? And put out an interesting coin, and they say, oh, hang on. I was mentally prepared. I already had it in my head that I was walking out with some cast bars, but now that you've put this in front of me, and they have that moment of, yeah, I want it, but I already know in advance that I won't want to sell it. So it's sort of, it can be a spanner in the works, but it never hurts to ask to have a look at the buybacks, because a lot of that stuff doesn't make it to the website, unfortunately. But if you come in store and ask to have a look, you may be surprised, and it may prove to be a spanner in the works for your game plan.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a bit of fun. Sometimes I do it just to wind people up, because particularly the people that come in and they're very adamant that, no, I only want the cheapest thing, I only want the bars, and you give them some form of a coin, and all of a sudden they kick off with the, I've got to have... You mean there's more of these?
Yeah.
And you say, wow. If you get any more, and all of a sudden it's as I quite often say, it's the gateway drug in. It's it's a lot of fun. And look, I want to pick up on with Matt saying that they don't hit the web. It's not that we're trying to squirrel them away. It's that there's two reasons. One is, as soon as they come in, they go back out. There's such a high demand for them. But the other thing is, we can't. It takes a lot of time and effort to actually individually pull out a coin, make sure that it's not got any marks on it, or if it has, that we list those, we take proper photos of them, get them onto the web. All of a sudden, instead of marking up, I don't know what our markup on buybacks is off the top of my head, but let's say it's a $40 markup. All of a sudden, that $40 is blown away in staff time trying to get things organised.
Get the lighting just right.
Yeah, and we're having to charge $100 for buybacks instead of $40 for buybacks. So that's the reason. It's not that we're trying to pull a Swifty or anything along those sort of lines. And
on that note of the also high turnover rate of it, I served a gentleman this afternoon and showed him some of the silver buybacks, and he said, these weren't here last week. And I said, yeah, they probably weren't here yesterday either. And if you come back next week,
this morning,
it could be either empty or it could be overflowing with completely different things. So, not the kind of thing you can put a hold on either, unfortunately.
Well, I got into trouble. It was a number of months ago, but I got into trouble because I sold a buyback, and it was a really pretty, I think it was a coin, but it may have been a bar, but it was really pretty, whatever it was. And I sold it to this person, and about 15 minutes later, I had an angry guy at the counter saying, I was in here half an hour ago and I asked you about buybacks, and my son came in and you gave him this one. You're holding out on me. And it's like, no, it didn't exist 5 minutes before he came in. We can't pick them. It is when it is. So I don't think he believed me at the end. But
it does sound like a tall story, but you said, your son's VIP.
It's quite often you're fighting people off just to complete the buyback invoice. Like when we're buying it off someone, it's like hold off, guys. I've got to actually work out what's here, put it into the purchase order first so I can pay this person out. Then they might be fair game.
Yeah, it doesn't exist in the system yet.
That's right.
Interesting idea from the Metal Inquisitor there. You should have a live cam on the buyback pile so we know when we need to rush into the store.
Oh, imagine that.
I think that would leave us with a constantly empty buyback pile. I think
see someone
put it
and
in
a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
When I left home 40 minutes ago, there was a 19.
That's it.
Good on you.
Oh, dude. Just some clarification for John Bush. When you guys say buybacks, is that just you all purchasing from people walking in?
No, that's people walking through the door.
Yeah.
They want to unload their X for whatever reason, and they present it. We test it, weigh it, make sure everything's tickety-boo, and then I knew someone was going to bring up the precious metal tester. And then we pay out on weight and purity, and away they go. Quite happy, but now we've got a bar or a coin or whatever it is, and it's got to be bullion. It can't be scrap metal or anything along those sort of lines, but bar or coin. That we now have bought at I don't want to say a cheap price because we pay spot, which is, as far as we're aware, it's the highest in the industry in Australia. But we've paid spot, and I haven't had to have paid, shipping from Perth or from Switzerland or wherever we're bringing it in from. You don't have to pay for a brand, if a certain brand costs more money to source, those types of things. So you can get them. We can sell them then onto you at a cheaper price. But you've really, and I know a lot of people have been saying this in the chat, but you can't come in and say, I want a PAMP Dragon Swiss, like Dragon bar from 2012, because you can't, like, we don't sort through them as a rule. Occasionally we'll pull one out because it's interesting to give to someone, but at the end of the day, we don't sort through them. It's just straight through the system and back out the door. So you've got to treat it as a lucky dip. When you buy one, you might end up with the mouldiest, oldest bar that you've ever seen in your life, or you might get a brand new shiny coin from from the Perth Mint or somewhere like that. That's just, there's no rhyme or reason to them, and you've got to expect that. And some of us love the mouldy old bars.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm all about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a topic that both you and Matt should be able to chime in on, and that is we now have some King Charles coins in circulation.
Jeez, give us a topic we can't chime in on.
Yeah,
though,
well,
Something we don't have an opinion on. Are you kidding me?
That is fairly rare. Look, you know what? You're right. That was a stupid thing to say. You've called me out. That's fair enough. We should have some of these guys now circulating around, only on the dollar coins.
Yeah, so the first time in decimal currency history, if you can believe it, since the round 50 was introduced, that we're seeing a new monarch on our Australian circulating coins. So they're only doing the dollar, and there will be 10 million, is my understanding. The first batch has been 3.5 million, has been distributed to the banks from the Royal Australian Mint, and you can expect to start seeing them coming through the banks. So if you're an avid noodler, there's a good chance you'll see some. And it's a monumental occasion, you might even say.
How does that compare to, because obviously this is just for 2023, we'll start to see some new ones in 2024. How big of a batch is that given this time of year? Like, is this going to be a tiny sliver of an amount, or are we going to be flooding the market with these to try and get them in circulation?
Well, it's a very good question, and it's hard to speculate on because it is such a unique event, and it's one that we can't accurately draw a comparison and say,
there's no precedence.
Exactly. And in that sense, for a reference for those that are interested in these types of circulating coins, your average coloured $2 coin mintage is 2 million. So if you then look at this and say, well, if there's going to be 10 million of these, but even then, right, because a coin like this is going to attract everyone and anyone, I would go so far as to say, because it's something that's the first ever.
It'll probably catch people's, like, everyone is going to look at it. It'll catch people's eye and they go, wait, is this a real coin? I don't.
Exactly,
our coins have the queen on them.
Yeah, you see something out of the ordinary and there's every chance you'll put it in your pocket. And if you happen to be picking up a roll of coins and you see that you have a roll of these coins, there's a much higher chance that you'll put it aside and go get another roll as opposed to just using them, popping them in the till. So I think a large proportion of them will end up in collections and being hoarded up. So, it's interesting to think about that because they are quite literally being produced for circulation. But the percentage of them that end up, in people's drawers and things like that, I think would be probably fairly high.
So, will this one become a collector's item or not?
The coin that immediately jumps to mind when I think about this is the two coins, actually, one being the round 50 and the other being the 1927 Parliament House florin. So they did 2 million of those as well, and people were queuing up at banks to get their hands on them. And anytime I see an old coin collection, I can back it in that I'll see at least one Canberra florin, and I think it's one of those coins that the historical significance probably outweighs the collectability aspect, and I think it'll sell for a modest premium. I'm already seeing on a lot of the Facebook pages and what have you, people selling the rolls for $60 or $70, and some people get upset and say, people are trying to take advantage or whatever it may be. But if I can't be bothered going to the bank, I actually think that's pretty reasonable, double or triple face value.
Bit of a delivery fee.
Exactly. Everyone's a winner in that sense, is my view of it. But in terms of the potential for it to skyrocket, I think when you're looking at a 10 million mintage, I think it's a safe bet to say it'll usually always be worth a little more than face value, just as a point of interest. But I'm not sure that I'd be putting, like this billionaire with nickels. I don't know that I'd put all my cash, all my available capital into coin rolls of them. Although, yeah, maybe you should.
We've
I don't know.
seen
It's not financial advice.
we've seen a little bit of hesitancy from a couple of people, and it's always going to be the case whenever there's any kind of change in collecting or in anything. But MBM Calmscape's comment there, suddenly the number of people collecting coins from their change drops dramatically. Do you think there'll be some people that go that use this as the final stopping point on a collection of, hey, I actually don't want to collect anything with King Charles on it. I'm just going to keep it to the older coins and stop there? Or do you reckon it's going to get more people into it? Because, hey, oh yeah, this is a cool coin that I've just come across. Again, like we've said with some other circulating, collections and things like that, people just get it and go, oh, that's cool. I might start this process of collecting.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to, if we go back through history, we haven't seen that happen when it changed, like when any of the Edwards changed over or anything like that. I don't think, if anything, it will create more interest because people, a small number, we're not talking, millions, but people will go, oh, wow, look, this has got King Charles on the back, I'll collect that. Mm-hmm. And then they'll start thinking about it and go, well, actually, I might get last year's while I'm at it.
Yeah.
It's got Queen Elizabeth on it. Oh, yeah, but then I'll get a few. And before you know it, they're collecting, dollar coins or 50-cent pieces or whichever one, grabs their fancy. So I think these sort of things are actually good for the industry. And for the collecting hobby, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think what it also does is it puts, despite the fact that with Elizabeth, it being a very wide date range, but it makes it a finite collection. So if you look back towards a king like Edward VII from 1902 to 1910, if you wanted to get a coin from each year, that's quite manageable. And so when you have the change of monarch, it then sort of bookends that reign, and you can now, if you were so inclined, you can put together an entire collection of $1 coins from 1984 to now that have all the Elizabeth portraits on them. So yeah, I think you're right. I think that type of thing presents an optimal point in time for people to jump into collecting, and they can start off with the Charles. If they're not a collector before, they can now say, all right, I'll get one of each dollar from Charles from here until, William steps up or whatever happens.
That could actually be the Black Swan event, is if Charlie falls over fairly quickly. And I'm certainly not wishing any ill will on anyone. This is just, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But if he falls off fairly quickly and there's only one issue of King Charles, that could be a completely different story.
This is true, and there was also talk of, and this is it's just general idle chit chat between chaps. There was talk of him potentially abdicating at a certain point in the not too distant future. So if that happens, again, like I mentioned earlier, with someone like Edward VII, you've got a 9-year period, something like that. Yeah, a relatively short reign in which you can fairly easily collect all of the coins issued in that period of a certain denomination. So, yeah, I think it's exciting, but it doesn't take much to get me excited about coins, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think you can compare them. Like, I was trying to think if you could compare this issue to, like, the 84 when they first came out.
Yeah.
How many do you remember off the top of your head?
186 million, approximately.
So you can't kind of say, well, that was, because the 84 coin really hasn't, if you collected rolls of 84s, you wouldn't be swimming in returns right
rolls
now.
Rolls of face value, yeah.
I don't think you can compare it to that, really, that era, because there's only 10 million. It's not 100 million.
And I guess in that sense, it's a reflection of the demand for cash in our current society. So back then, when you're introducing a denomination for the first time, you need enough to effectively replace all circulating $1 notes. So the what's the word? Not the burden, the responsibility of the mint was much greater. Yeah. Whereas now it's more, I guess you'd say more, not symbolic. Can't find the words, but it's more of they're doing it because of the transition as opposed to, okay, we need 10 million $1 coins. I would suggest the mint could probably go a couple of years without making any dollar coins. The circulating currency would just continue on. Because I still see brand new 1984 dollars coming out in rolls. Like if we do a bank run for the till, you can get brand new $84 that seem to have just come out. So
yeah, that's right.
I think there's still plenty floating around.
I think that I think the discussion would have gone on at the mint. How many dollar coins do you reckon we need for the year? And they would have gone, I reckon about 3.5 mil. All right, that's what we need for circulation. how many do we need to print for all these turkeys like us? They're going to stick them in their sock drawer and disappear. Because if we only produce 3.5 mil, then there's going to be none of them out there in circulation.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we reckon probably another 7 mil. Right. So we'll produce 10 mil of them for everyone to stick in their sock drawer.
I reckon that's actually very accurate because you would have so many people writing in letters to the mint saying, okay, I heard your announcement. I haven't seen it in a year of searching. I haven't seen a single one of these coins because, bank managers and staff are just hoarding them up because it's something a bit different. Yeah, that's an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
Did we answer the question? What was the question, Ruben?
This one wasn't even an original question. It was just a discussion point of, hey, this
statement.
This thing's going to be, these things are going to be out there now.
The interesting sentence for me on that article that you'd had up there was the part where, can you flick it up again? The first batch of 3.5 million coins has been delivered to the banks. Now, we actually had a conversation with our friendly neighbourhood bank today because I was chasing some current rolls of coins, like new coins, not because of the King Charles thing, but I actually need them. It's for a Christmas thing. And the bank said to us, we don't get new coins in here. They only deliver them to Coles and Woolworths now.
Really? Yes. Oh, I did not know that. Well, there you go.
I don't know if that's just that branch or it's all over the place, but they're saying don't come to us for them. You've got to go down to Coles and Woolies because that's the only place they deliver the new coins these days.
Maybe they're just feeding you a line. They're saying we're getting sick of the abuse.
Maybe it's the only way to get them into circulation.
That actually makes sense, yeah, because I can't imagine there'd be a huge demand outside of the business demand. General individuals wouldn't be going in a great deal unless you're like I suggested earlier, an avid noodler. But
even then, we go to the bank. When we need change, we'll go to the bank and we'll get, I don't know, $500 worth of dollar coins or whatever. And they all come in rolls. Whereas when the money goes to your Woolies checkout chick, the first thing they do is they break it open and actually get them out there. So whereas someone like me can come along and say, right, well, I've just taken $500 worth of rolls out of the system. Yeah. You're not going to get that out of Woolworths because they don't usually hand over rolls of coins. I know our local Woolies, I tried to get in there once to get, I don't know, there was some special release that they were doing and the girl had a couple of rolls of them in the till and I said, can I, buy a couple of those rolls? No. We're not allowed to do it.
They often seem a little shell-shocked when you ask because you can tell it's been a big day for them when there's a new release. I always spare a thought for them. It's a rough gig. It's not what they signed up for. What else is happening in the world of bullion, Ruben? It's good. We could keep going for a bit, I reckon.
We honestly could. The US has lit up a little bit talking about bullion because of a US senator that has been caught with some bars.
Wow.
But not just any bars that were involved in a robbery back in 2013. A businessman had these stolen from him back in 2013. They were recovered, but he had to obviously sign that, all the serial numbers were his and, all that kind of stuff. Later on they've been found in the possession of a US senator. Obviously that kind of prompts all sorts of questions. How did he get them? Was it a bribe? All that kind of stuff.
I think you need to emphasise the fact that this senator is being accused of being bribed.
Correct. And
by this other person who took delivery of the bars.
Yeah.
So could be a tremendous coincidence.
Could be.
Well, we cannot speak to it in we can't say definitively.
Yeah. Allegedly, that's what we've got to throw in there. But no, a very interesting story. Kind of generates a bit of a discussion around serial numbers because obviously they've only been able to identify them because the serial numbers were recorded at the time of the robbery. The other thing came out of an interview of the senator, and he was talking about the fact that he had a whole bunch of cash and these gold bars kind of squirreled away, and I'll quickly play that now.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba.
So it's always interesting when, people in positions of power like that start taking out large amounts of cash for emergencies.
Yeah, but it's not... I'm I'm walking on very thin ice
That's
here.
a regular Friday stream.
Pretty
for us. What
much,
do you
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Put your
but-
skates on, hit it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's exactly what we talk about on this channel. You know, like some people on this, some people in the chat will have had experiences where either them or their families have been in situations where you need cash. Like you need,
Yeah.
you know, like something like a government has done the wrong thing, and all of a sudden you're pedaling fast.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people that keep an emergency stash of cash under the mattress for the just in cases. So
Yeah.
it really, and I don't think the article says, but it kind of depends on if he had an emergency stash of like, you know, $2,000 or an emergency stash of 2 million.
I think it was 150 or something.
150,000.
Yeah. I think from
It's a
memory.
decent stash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
give
it's
him
nothing to sneeze at.
If you call that pocket change, I'll start asking you for some pocket change.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can't comment on, you know, somebody's daily expenses. That might be a normal month for him.
Yeah.
He's just keeping 4 weeks of, you know, just in case money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, obviously that's it. It's kind of along the same lines as what we talk about every week. But it's interesting when people in positions like that start doing it. In the same way as I think a lot of people often view the stock market and things like that as this is how the rich get richer. This is how, you know, this is how the people with the money are investing their money. I think the same can almost be said for when they start pulling things like this. It's almost like when Elon, you know, makes a tweet about a certain crypto or something like that. It's enough to get people interested. It's enough to people to say, well, hey, here's someone that is, you know.
Yeah, but to be honest, I wish more of our leaders actually did exactly that.
Oh, and that's it.
So-
I'm not saying it as a negative thing at all. I think it's an interesting point to note.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point, and I'm sure it's not as clean cut as we're making out. But I wish, like I said, I wish a lot more leaders would actually stash some cash. I wish our government would stash some hard assets. You know, instead of. No, let's not go down that path today.
Could be a big afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. We'll disappear right down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
I'm getting requested for a poll but without a particular aim in mind. What do you feel like having a poll about anything, fellas?
Yeah. The one that came to mind was the change of portrait. Do we like the old one or the new one? But I think we've done that before. Do it again. We've got nothing else on the go.
What?
Well, I don't know. You got something. You've got
Are
something.
you talking about old?
The Elizabeth portrait or the new Charles portrait? What do you want to say on your bullion coins? You don't have a say. You don't have a say in it, but the poll is a good way to voice your opinion.
I'm still. There's no crown on him in this one, is there?
No,
that was
Why
there's
not?
someone else also asked.
That was just
why.
done for the coronation. You may note that George VI, Elizabeth's father, was not crowned in his portrait either.
At all.
Not at all.
But he.
It was George V before him was crowned, but
yeah, but he wasn't monarch very long, was he?
he was on for a while.
It was only really the war years, wasn't it?
Yeah, so through... Oh, you're testing me now. 37 through to 51.
Oh, no, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a bit longer
It
than I
was-
thought. Then.
yeah, it's a bit of a stint.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say, you know, particularly with the war in the way, they probably didn't get. It wasn't a priority to stick
Yeah.
a crown on him. But if it was into the 50s, and you're right, it was. Yeah, they did have time to pull.
I
their
guess
finger out.
I suppose it's a personal preference. I'm assuming the monarch gets a say in it as to whether or not they want the crown. Like it was Edward VIII that demanded to face the same direction as his predecessor because it was his preferred side. You know how they alternate the direction they face. He said, nah, not for me. And then he abdicated anyway. So
But you're feeling a bit ripped
yeah,
off.
a
though.
lot of good that argument would have done.
Yeah, they should have known something was wrong as soon as he started saying that.
Yeah,
They
this
should have
guy's
ditched him
yeah,
then.
more effort than he's worth.
There's a comment from Philip there. Can you show us some coins with milk spots and what causes them? I think it'd be very interesting to do a video dedicated to purely milk spots. What are they? What do they look like? You know, is it a cause for concern? Basically, the ins and outs of milk spots. I think that'd make a great kind of back to basics.
Could have done that when you did your tour of the Royal Mint.
Yeah. Let me through the doors.
So no, that could be a great video idea.
Are we neck and neck on this pot? No, there's a...
We've got a 50-50 split.
You've got a third option.
Yeah, of just no more fiat. Yeah, there we go. We'll
there you go. It's a bit of fun.
I still think a lot of those kind of polls, old or new, speaking for myself, I don't like change.
Yeah,
you know, it's different. I don't like it.
Wait.
So.
Changes in fiat change?
No. Changes in something general, something new.
I was just making the joke.
It's pretty rare where I go, I really like the new, because invariably, I mean, take bars. I don't like the new bars. I like the moldy old, terrible things. So I kind of think there's that kind of skew, that kind of, I don't know what it's called, in there of people, of bias probably, that bias of people going, well, actually, nothing. I don't have anything yet that endears me to King Charles or to a new design, so I just prefer to go back to the old ways.
Well, I think, it's one of those questions that kind of will sort itself out anyway, because it's the wheels are in motion. It's kind
you've
of
got no choice.
Well, that's kind of it. It's kind
You're in for the ride.
It's happening, and it'll be interesting to see if the opinion changes time marches onwards.
Yeah. What else we got, mate?
We got a question there. Can you do a video on the 1 kilo coloured dragon? I want to see it in person.
Monday.
We actually have
nice.
We've got one lined up. We haven't filmed it yet, but it has arrived, and we will be doing a video on it. So keep an eye on our sister company, Little Coin Shop's YouTube channel. We've also got a couple of other ones hopefully coming up soon before the Christmas break over there as well. So
nice.
I think that was part of the semi-heated discussion this morning of, well, I can't film everything.
A little bit.
Give it a red hot shake, though.
Oh, dear. Speaking of those, we had someone send us through some Merry Christmas wishes, but also they have received one of the Christmas coins, the Christmas numismatic coins from the Perth Mint, and they were showing some photos of that one.
Oh, love that
that's
coin.
So cool. Who did that? That wasn't our buddy Lucas, was it?
No.
Bummer.
Don't believe so. Although he did share one recently of a dragon design that he did, which looked quite cool.
Geez, you should put that up. Wow, that was unreal. He did. He put up his original sketch, and then the next stage, and then when it was finally turned into a coin. Yeah. That was super cool. I reckon you could find that, Ruben. I'm optimistic. It's on Instagram.
Yeah, I can probably pull it up in a second. But yeah, so there's that one there. I have actually already shot this one for the upcoming Little Coin Shop video, so we can get a little closer look at that one there.
Whoa, that's nice.
They look beautiful.
They did what was the one they did last year? The Christmas bell.
Yeah.
The job they do with these, just fantastic.
Yeah, the detail is unreal, and all the whole design, the whole shooting match, that's what you want to see out of a mint that's being innovative and, pushing minting technology to the absolute limit. And there's probably plenty of people out there that would say, well, it's not a coin anymore. It's, something different altogether.
I'd agree with that.
I agree with that, but in a real positive way. I think it's unreal. That's the kind of thing that I want to see. More interesting applications of, the design, the way they can get the reliefs and the antiquing and all that jazz. I think the Perth Mint's starting to really spice things up, which is nice, because for the longest time I always looked to the Canadian Mint for innovation, but it's good to see Perth getting in the mix, and yeah, it's exciting.
In a lot of ways, I prefer that sort of stuff, because when they do, and I'm not having a dig at RAM here, it's just an easy example. When they take the circulating coins and they make them in proof, or they make them in gold or silver and that sort of thing, you go, look, it's nice and all that sort of stuff, but it just looks like a 50-cent coin, whereas that is actually, that's art, that's something to collect and appreciate, which is the market that you're actually targeting with those types of things. And I actually prefer to see those than a standard 50-cent piece done in a jazzy way.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair shake. It's almost like they're two totally separate things, but for me, I sort of combine them all under the umbrella of things that make me smile.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a very fair observation.
Yeah. So love it. Think Perth Mint, if you're watching, I think you're kicking goals with that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Good stuff. We also had someone send through some photos of their stack. They have quite a variety of 10-ounce bars with some really cool ones hidden in there. I've only got the one image. No, I haven't. I got
Not quite.
got the wrong thing up.
Technical issues really
Yeah.
ranking up today.
Hang on. There we go.
Whoa.
So yeah, maybe a little bit hard to see, but there's a massive variety of bars in there.
Bit of background to this person. They actually collect, like their collecting passion is 10-ounce bars. As you can probably
evidently.
tell. So it's not like he's just, this is what I went down to the local op shop and picked up. He's intentionally targeting 10-ounce bars and collecting them. And I think when we talked to them last, they were very much, I'm targeting, was it 100?
100, I thought, yeah.
100 different types of 10-ounce bars. So
it must be awful close just looking at
Yeah.
these images. You've got
certainly well on the way.
a very eclectic mix there. I think there's even a couple in there that I don't think I've ever seen before, which is what you want in a collection. Something a bit different, bit of this, bit of that.
Absolutely. There's a question there that I actually don't really have too much of an answer for yet, and that's from the Metal Inquisitor. It says, Bullion Now, Ruben, Matt, Michael, yes or no to the 1 kilo coloured dragon? I'm interested in your opinions. The reason I don't have one yet is that's it. I haven't actually done the unboxing on it yet. I really want to see what that one looks like in person. I think with the colours they've chosen, it will look really good on that larger planchet, but I'm kind of, I'm reserving my judgment. What about you guys? Have you... You reckon it'll be
it's a big
hit?
yes. I love that kilo, and that design has grown on me a great deal. I was initially, I think, because I had a bias going into this design release based on the mother and baby dynamic that had been ongoing, like the theme, and then I saw this and was a little underwhelmed because that didn't carry over. But the more I see this dragon design, the more I'm taking a shine to it, and I really do like you said, Ruben, the colours they've chosen for it are very, very cool. So
they're very vivid. It's
nice. It sort of really does bring it to life in that sense, and because it is obviously like a mythical animal, whereas if you go back and look at the ox or the tiger or the pig, you can sort of look at it and say, oh yeah, it looks like
looks like a pig.
Exactly, a pig's a pig, but a dragon it sort of is a bit more interesting. To me personally, so I think it's very cool, and they're only doing how many? A few hundred of them.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a heap, so it's going to be a fairly hard one to get your hands on. I would suggest.
I don't like the lunar dragon design.
Geez, all right.
Gold and silver.
Yeah.
Or
I don't mind the gold. I
silver?
don't mind the gold. That's probably similar to Matt. I had this. Like
a change of
preconceived idea of what it was going to look like, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Whereas the gold one kind of went along the lines of what I expected. And I don't actually like the design.
Okay.
However, if I don't look at it as part of the
Lunar
series, I actually really love the design, and particularly the coloured design. I think the colours that they've used make the whole design pop.
Absolutely.
And so I haven't actually seen the kilo in real life. I haven't opened the box. I'm holding off with great anticipation. I'm expecting to love it because the other ones that I've seen in colour I've absolutely loved.
Yeah.
And so long as I don't think this is part of the Lunar series, we're really good.
Well, perfect in that sense. If you're only interested in one and done, you don't want to commit to the whole kilo range, this could be the one.
And I think it will be popular. This isn't financial advice. I think it will do okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
We had a question in relation to what we were talking about last week, talking about kind of how much cash was in circulation and things like that. So yeah, this person writes, in regards to your discussions about hoarding cash in Australia, does cash include the legal tender of bullion and numismatic coins that are produced by Perth Mint and Royal Australia Mint? It would actually be interesting to know the total face value legal tender via bullion and numismatic coins produced by Perth and RAM. Would you have a rough estimate in mind? I went through the joy of calculating the total legal tender of bullion coins produced by Perth Mint and came to a total figure of approximately 1.36 billion using their declared mintages and denominations of each bullion coin released to date. And that's noting that they haven't released all their current data yet. Most bullion and numismatic coins, I imagine, is being hoarded by stackers and collectors, which could explain a portion of cash not in circulation. Would like to hear your thoughts in upcoming streams or videos.
Okay, so I'm going to defer to the RBA on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you say it was? An estimate of about 1.2?
1.36 billion.
Okay, so let's...
That's through Perth's numbers.
Yeah, okay. And you've got to add RAMs to that. So let's say there's $2 billion worth.
Mm-hmm.
In June 2022, in circulation of banknotes, they're not talking about coins, they're talking about banknotes, they're estimating that $102.3 billion worth is kicking around out there. So you're talking, 2%. It's not a great, less than 2% actually.
Yeah.
It's not a great deal. And they're only looking at banknotes. They're not looking at, I would even hazard a guess as to say they're only looking at decimal banknotes, not even considering the other ones that are still out there. So I think it's an interesting question, but I think the answer is I don't think it's a major impact on it at all.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a fair observation. And I also yet to see, although I did see one video of a gentleman paying for a coffee with one of the old silver $10 coins. But for the most part, I don't think there's a great deal of circulation on the ones that are getting produced for bullion or numismatic value.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a good question, though. It's an interesting thing to think about. Sort of like when you see all the Pacific Islands coins, the Tuvalu and the Niue and all that, and you wonder, I wonder if anyone's ever loaded up, a sack full of these and gone over and gone to local shops.
But see, the local shops over
someone's
there...
trying to pay with a Yoda coin again.
Yeah.
But they don't even accept their own money. They only deal in AUD over there or NZD.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that settles that. I'll cancel the trip.
So I think they'd say, go away. To be 100% honest. Objective sovereignty. Remember the old movies where you have a noble walking about with a purse? Looks like a marble bag tied to his his belt. I wonder if we'd end up carrying around Bullion Now felt bags holding our coins.
That is exactly what it feels like when we put coins into it. It feels like a medieval coin purse. Or,
Never thought about it like that. That's great.
It's what it feels like.
You need a little belt attachment. You need a belt clip to go along with them. That's cool.
I hadn't actually thought of that part of it.
Yeah.
A belt attachment to it. But yeah, a lot of people, particularly when they buy a number of coins and you put it in a medium-sized bag, they kind of bounce up and down in their hand.
Yeah. You can get home and just throw it on the table and let them all, spread out.
You
That's
kind of
cool.
want to throw it at someone for that's it, a heist well done, or, a job well done.
Settling your debts.
Here's your cut. Here's your,
Good fun. What else have we got, Rubes?
More questions. Let me pull.
Should we do more questions or should we do a bit of an auction?
Oh, yeah. Remember that when Michael said we'd do an auction last week and the week before and the week before?
I'm trying to get in early so we can actually get it done.
And now he does it like the business day before we stop accepting, not stop accepting payments, but we stop.
I was going to say, which day did we say we were stopping accepting payments?
So if you commit to your bid, it's got to be straight up. As soon as the invoice gets sent out, settle it if you want it soon.
Yeah, if you want it. Otherwise, it'll go into storage.
That just puts pressure on me putting out the invoices. Oh dear. All right, what have we got, Michael?
Well, you've got them.
No, I don't.
I don't have them.
Oh, I've got them.
Oh, goodness. How's the packaging?
Mate,
Is that a monster box?
That is a mini monster box.
From a young viewer of ours, young Miller, who has created the Bullion Now bag that has been featured in the background. It's been pulled down at the moment because of the Christmas decorations, but if you've seen the little Bullion Now felt bag, She has also created a monster box.
I can't believe she's even got the swan on there.
Yeah,
The
like-
attention
Do
to
you wanna hold it
detail
up
is
to your
incredible.
one, that'll be
Can you see it there? I've got a
That'll-
camera in the way, so I can't see.
that'll,
if
that'll
it's
be a little bit closer.
displaying. You want it closer?
Yeah, no, that should be good. But
Yeah, there you go. You see the swan. The detail is, that's
Even
great.
down to, it's got, the little kink in the,
Yeah.
in the side of the plastic. She's even included that. It's just, I thought it was brilliant. I really did. So if
and-
she's watching, double thumbs up from all of us. We thought it was great.
Fantastic.
and functional as well, because it's currently storing the things that we were going to put up for
yeah,
auction.
so it does work.
That's it.
It does hold things. So
Absolutely.
we're very impressed. So we brought down a couple of things. Well, 4 things actually for auction.
Unreal. Okay, well let me
So-
get this out of the way maybe because
I've
I'm
also received a request from the finance guys to make sure that any invoices are also referenced as the invoice number that is attached with it, just to
Yeah.
make things easier as well.
Yeah, always makes things easier when you can attach a number to it.
Absolutely.
Do we want to kick off with one of these, Matt?
yes.
Do you want to do the...
Oh, look out! Ta-da! Is this working, Ruben? Ta-da! Geez, that's a good shot.
This is a bit different, this.
This is about as different as they come.
Yeah.
I think this was sort of, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but I think this was sort of an early example of the Perth Mint thinking outside the box
Yeah.
and starting to do things a little differently and, push their minting technology to new heights.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it was. And it was pretty edgy for its time.
Yeah. Well,
Edgy
even
bullion.
even still, yeah, we've got a pearl inlay on I'm assuming a 1 ounce gold proof coin.
We do.
Only 1,000 of these were produced, so.
And
Jeez.
it's even the packaging's in remarkably good condition, and you don't see that very often with these.
Well, and you've got a little glass window in there as well. Yeah, I love seeing any time they get a little creative with the packaging. Something that I've always whinged and complained, and I love the Royal Australian Mint. I have a tremendous amount of respect for them, but I don't think much of the 1 ounce silver proof packaging, the recycled.
Yeah.
I'm all for the environment for sure, but it's sort of in line with your tirade on your paper straws.
I'm all for the environment so long as it doesn't impact my coin collecting.
Exactly, because look at packaging like that. I want to take out my collection and be immersed in it, down to the packaging. If you're paying collector prices, I want the whole shebang. I don't want just the coin to look great. I want
You're
to.
able to hold it up a little bit closer. I don't think it's.
Yeah,
focusing
sorry, I'm
quite
going
properly.
on it. I'm out of control.
Unfortunately, I actually agree with you. This is the one time where I get crusty with environmental packaging.
Is that closer? Whoa! Look at that.
So it's actually got a little pearl stuck in behind there.
Is that
right?
also the inlay, or is that just a?
It's a little pearl, isn't it?
Yeah. But the other portion of it, is that also?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I've never thought about that.
Really? I thought that'd be one of the first things you'd be thinking about. Yeah, read the certificate.
I'm loving
read the
these.
It usually helps. Am I still holding this, Ruben, or I just look like a goose,
Well, a little bit of both.
just for a change? Look at that.
It's
there
a
you go.
translucent locket inlaid with mother of pearl framing. A Keisha pearl. Keshi pearl. I don't
Probably
do
should have
pearls. I don't-
read this before we started the auction.
We haven't started the auction yet. So there you go. It has a pearl in it.
Yep, and a 1 ounce gold proof coin. That is very cool.
It is very cool. And like you said, there's only 100. No, there's only
1,000.
1,000. There's only 1,000 of them made. Yeah, there it is. No more than I love this. We're going right off topic here.
That's
There's
shocking.
no more than 1,000 of these coins will be struck. So I'm not actually even sure there was 1,000 made. It's
I
just
reckon I
they've
could
capped
find
it.
out.
I reckon you probably could.
All right. You keep talking, Michael, if you can think of anything to say, and I'll see if I can work out the total mintage.
So yes, it is a pearl. There is a very small pearl in there. And the thing that cracks me up with a lot of these things is the C of A has a coin number of 739. So you'd think, well, they must have done at least 739 of them. That's actually not what happened. Quite often they just release randomly the numbers out there.
No.
And I've seen it on several, particularly the older ones, where, they'll say mintage of 1,000 and you'll get number, 739, and then like maximum mintage. And then when you actually see the mintage numbers, it'll be like 248. And you'll go, well, how's that possible? But yeah, that's just the way they do it with some of these older issues. They just
748.
seriously.
Yeah, and you've got certificate number 739. Geez, you're right at the business end of production there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
More useless information.
yeah, that's right. There you go. Keshi pearls are Japanese pearls grown in the South Pacific. There you go. You
Oh,
learn something
cool.
new every day. Anyway, we're supposed to be running an auction.
Yeah.
So how's this going to work?
So, well, what have you...
See, I was looking things up.
I've got my little timer there that'll hopefully work. We will
Ta-da.
count that down. There is a bit of a delay between what's happening on your screens and what is happening in real life. So when it starts to get down towards the business end, I will put some messages in chat, so you know kind of where kind of the delay is and things like that, and so you know where. And then we'll put up a sold. Any messages that come through after that are not going to be counted. But yeah. We'll see how this works.
Yeah. So the problem with this thing is it's not only the delay between us and the server; it's the delay between with your internet on the other end. So we can't say, look, it's a 3-second delay or it's a 5-second delay or a 15-second delay because it depends. For person A, it'll be a 5-second delay. For person B, it might be a 20-second delay. So. If you're interested in it, my suggestion is you bid earlier rather than later, and that way you can be sure. Because once we say bids are done, even if that hasn't got through to you yet, and you're still trying to snipe, you'll find you don't get it.
Haven't officially started yet, but the bids are coming through. Are we starting at spot price or are we starting at zero?
What do you reckon?
Whatever floats your boat.
We'll start this one at spot.
All right.
What is spot?
$3,069 right now.
There you go.
Lovely.
So if anyone wants it, $3,069 will kick off the bidding.
Let me try this. Hit my buttons. There we go. All right, we've started.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's
Oi,
straight
very
into it. That's
swish.
cool.
There you go. Michael Edwards in at 3,100.
Nice one.
So
Fanta's offering below spot. No, come on.
Unreal. Final offer.
and that
Jeez.
doesn't even count for the pearl.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I don't know what
exactly.
your bid will include GST. So yes, this item would incur GST, but we'll take 3,100 including GST.
Yep.
Which is a scream and buy for a 1 ounce
Proof, yeah.
proof coin in and of itself. Then you add, the rarity and the collectability and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
down to our last 30 seconds ish, and at the moment, Michael Edwards is winning with a 3,100.
Could be the deal of the day.
Yeah, could be.
Unreal.
We do have some other stuff to go through, another couple.
I
There we
thought
go.
you were putting in bids,
Yeah,
Ruben.
Ruben's bidding $25. Don't think he gets the hang of the auction.
These are my references so that people know kind of where the timer's up to, officially in chat. Last 10
ZK
seconds.
3120, Trevor Phillips 3,200. Despite my warnings, people are trying to snipe. And 3,200 for Trevor Phillips, and we're done.
Perfect. Well done.
Well done, Trevor.
That was the same bid, so the first one gets it, right?
Well, it was after the done anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well
so-
done. That's a super deal. Unreal.
yeah, absolutely. So 3,200 done and dusted on the
Pearl.
I haven't eaten today. I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole blood sugar's crashed.
So if you could send you an email through to live@bullionnow.com.au or the sales email, and they'll send it through to me. But just let us know that you won that auction, and we'll organise an invoice for you.
What about we go to the other end of the spectrum?
Yeah, of course. You get that? It's just a bit of a joke. I'll bring it up a bit.
Matt's on fire today.
Unreal. Oh.
Alrighty, so what we've got here is believe it or not, this is actually out of my stash.
Wow.
I'm not kind of sure how it ended up in the office, but it did. So I grabbed it and thought we'd auction it off just so we could have something at the other end of the spectrum. So this is a Lunar Horse from, help me, Matt, what year was the Lunar Horse?
2014.
2014. So I guess you'd technically call it a buyback, but it's never seen the light of day until now. So 2014, it's a 1 ounce silver lunar mouse from.
It's not a mouse, it's a horse. Close, it's a really big mouse.
Alrighty, I'm on fire
Mouse
this
on
afternoon.
steroids.
It's an animal and it's a coin.
Yeah, it's got legs
It is
and
indeed.
a tail. I'm
4
doing
of them.
all right. Did we flip? Oh, you just flipped it over.
I did indeed. So you can have a little look at the Ian Rank Broadley effigy.
Okay, and because it's mine and I don't mind and I haven't eaten all day, I think we'll start it off at 0. So
Alrighty.
no minimum bid
Wow.
to kick us off. So you might get it for a cent.
What do you call a group of horses?
A pain in the wallet. All right, we started the auction?
Yep.
All right, so Pete Repeat has bid in with 40.
And we're off.
We're off. Adam Rose at 41. Glue Factory.
I was going to say, you're going to answer the...
Wombat at 55. I'm trying to... there's too many people I can upset here. So we've got Wombat at 55 at the moment with 50 seconds to run.
56.
Mark Twain's at 56.
Gonna be a photo finish here, lads.
Yeah, good on you. We should have done this at the Melbourne Cup. shouldn't we?
Absolutely, yeah. We could have put on our little...
It's a 1 ounce Mark Twain. The older Series 2, they always, like, it was a bigger planchet that they used on the 1 ounce.
Jeez, I'm hopeless at holding this straight. It's because the camera sort of gets a mirror.
Yeah, it is a bit. It's just giving everyone appreciation for my footage. This is good.
Yeah. So we got 10 seconds left, and
Not
it's
yet.
at 56.
There we go. Are you trying to preempt the lag?
Yeah, I
Michael?
was trying a little.
Yeah.
Mark Twain is winning at... Oh, no, I'm not going to pronounce that. We're at 58. And we're...
Oi, that is
Tyler
unreal.
Farmfield.
That is an absolute... that is unreal.
That's a photo finish.
Well done.
Yeah, at 59. Well done, mate.
Yeah, that was slick. That was expertly played.
I was gonna say there's-
Definitely not your first rodeo, mate.
I'm trying not to encourage people to snipe because I know we cop a hiding for it when people miss out on
but
it.
it's higher risk with the delay because there could be slightly more delay.
Exactly. High risk, high reward.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, that
dear.
was good.
All right, so we could do a poll about whether we have another 1 ounce or not. We'll throw it up there.
Yeah, you've come this far.
All right,
Oi.
Matt will know more about this one than I will because this one's been sitting on my desk for a while and I haven't looked at it.
This is super
If
cool.
he wants to share with the rest of the class.
Yeah. Whoa. If I can work out what's going on. So, if you'll kindly direct your eyes to the super camera. I'm suspicious that there may have been an outer box once upon a time for this particular coin. However,
I tend to agree.
we will skip that part because we have the certificate still. And again, this is... Who's made this?
I think it's Perth, isn't it?
Just no, it doesn't say. I'm going to... Whoa, they only did 75 of these, and this is
Yeah.
number 22. It doesn't have the mint on it.
I'll do a quick search while you're doing that.
Yeah, 75th anniversary, 1932 to 2007, 1 ounce. It's got a... Oh, that's super cool. I'm going to bring that up to the camera. When you move it, if I can get it to move. Yeah, look at that.
It's one of
Bridge is not
those
complete.
Multi-stage
Bridge is
photos.
complete.
Yeah.
1927, 1932.
He's going to be doing that all afternoon now.
I will actually. That's incredibly cool. What year did construction begin on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Michael?
Hey, what do I know? Do you
Oh, yeah. It's key date in the halfpenny series, 1923.
know? There you go.
And it was completed in 1932, which is a key date in the Florin series.
I love how you base key events.
Pretty
based
good way
on,
to remember Australian
on-
facts.
Yeah.
Do you know there is only one PCGS worldwide population of those?
Really?
In PR 69.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. If there's only 75 made, and I don't even know that they made the full 75.
Well, I'm
Well, you know.
scrambling for information on it. We don't have much.
It's a coin. It's got a bridge on it.
The portrait of Elizabeth leaves a little to be desired. It's certainly not an Ian Rank Broadley. It's a little cartoony. But a very cool coin nonetheless. Your sort of main focus is the reverse as opposed to the obverse, and that little hologram is.
It's
really
actually
cool.
got 3 stages.
Really?
Yeah, so there's the not built. Looks like there's a black and white kind of it's finished but not
yep. And then it
current.
goes to a
and
blue
then
sky.
Then there's a
Wow.
blue sky modern. So it's a 3-stage photo.
That is very, very cool.
I believe it's a 1 ounce gold, that one.
Yep, 1 ounce gold, Sydney Harbour Bridge.
All right.
There you go. In
Are
very
we
cool
waiting
packaging.
for Michael to?
I can't find any decent information on it, to be 100% honest.
No worries. We can. Should we kick that one off then?
I reckon we kick it off.
Alrighty.
What do you reckon? Kick it off at spot 30, about $3,000.
So at $3,000.
Hey, we'll start it at $3,000 because I can't remember what we said.
Alrighty. There we go. Starting at $3,000, we are off.
Off and racing. And there was stunned silence. Oh, here we go. $3,001 from Michael Edwards. So early leader, mate.
Yeah, but no, it's very cool to see some of these kind of historic coins with particularly low mintages like that.
Matt doesn't believe me. He's madly scrambling in the background to try and find more information.
I was going to say I should have brought my mouse. It's sitting in front
ZK
of me.
for 3,100.
Yep, ZK is in the lead, racing over the bridge.
The complete bridge or the half-built bridge?
It also feels like a race to get information.
We're almost at the top of the arch.
Oh, it looks like it was produced by the Perth Mint because the silver one was Perth Mint.
For some
think you
reason,
might
I
be
thought
right.
it was Perth Mint,
Yeah.
but I couldn't pin that to why I thought it. Alrighty, we're coming down the other side with just over 20 seconds remaining. And ZK is in the lead. No, Edna Trainer is in at 31.50. Sorry,
Bargain.
ZK, somebody beat you to the punch, mate. So 10 seconds, 31.60 from ZK there, with 5 seconds to run.
Deals on wheels on this stream.
And 31.70. Oi, sniped in there by
Yeah.
Steve Burley. Sorry, Edna. We'd closed it off by that point. So 31.70 to Steve Burley. Well done.
Yeah, excellent.
So
It really makes me nervous, people sniping.
But it's high risk, high reward, isn't it? Because there's
Exactly.
the chance that you miss after it, and that's it. You don't get it.
That one is done.
All right, have you got?
All right, fourth and final item.
Fourth and final, something in the middle.
Hey, cool. Hey, this ties in with a question.
It does.
Hmm.
So we're going to show the
Dun,
viewers at
dun,
home,
dun,
or we're going to
dun,
just sit on it
dun.
ourselves. So this is an unopened roll. I'm going to sneeze, so you're going to have to take over.
All right, so this is a roll of the 2015 Kookaburra, which was the 25th anniversary of the Kookaburra. So you can get. I can't get the best angle on it because it's still in its shrink wrap packaging, but that is an intact roll of 20 1-ounce coins with the again standard obverse produced by Ian Rank Broadley. This is a Perth Mint 1-ounce silver coin.
Just going to interrupt for a second, mate. Tyler, just send your email to sales@bullionnow.com.au and just reference the auction and what you want on there.
Beautiful. And that is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this could be so you've got a privy mark on there as well. Sorry, I'll carry on with that. There's a P25 on there, which is indicative of on the bottom right-hand corner, indicative of the 25th anniversary. So occasionally you'll see the letter P with a number next to it. Usually it'll
like the
relate
dragon,
to...
P125.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were meaning it was a privy mark. That is a privy mark, but you know the privy mark.
Yeah, something fully out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
In which
okay,
case,
right.
gee, look
I've
at
never seen one of those. With a
auctions
privy mark.
cancelled.
Yeah, that's right. That's going straight to the pool room. Yes, there's 20 in a roll.
And I'm totally shooting from the hip here, but is this a reproduction of the original 1990 design? That design
Yes,
where he's
yeah, I believe
standing
so.
on a tree, on a
On a stump.
That's the word I'm looking for, a stump. So yeah, I like any time there's a throwback to an original design, and this was, one such example of a 25th anniversary. Not quite as exciting as the 30th anniversary, but a very cool coin nonetheless. More on that later.
Casey, we do have unopened rolls of kookaburras kicking around. They're not literally lying. Well, actually, they are lying around the safe, I suppose.
Flying around, yeah.
But yeah, we do. I'm hoping to unload some of them in the Christmas break over that period where I've got time to actually get them listed. So, anyways,
So,
back on topic.
21 ounce silver. Hey, that is pretty
And not
scented.
a bird bath to be seen.
Works out to about $720 spot price. So I reckon we kick off there.
Nah, start at 0. No reserve.
Let's go. Unreal.
Let's go.
Start at face value, $20.
Oi, that's even better. I like that one. So face value is the starting price. So $20.
Alrighty, we are kicking off.
Sim
Starting at
Bungee,
20.
what is a privy? It's, I might even be able to get it on the screen. Oh, now I'm panicked. I've only got 70 seconds. Can you...
And it's for the roll, not per coin. So just to clarify. So
I need to look at it before I
Philip
point to it.
Ratchman was at 500, then Wombat jumped in at 720. So we're already up at 720, which when you think about it is only $36 a coin.
Can you see it? Just there. Under the
750
word
from
silver.
Mark Fleming.
Under the word silver is the P25.
50 seconds to go, and Mark Fleming's winning at 750. Adam Rose is at 755. Neil Johnson at 840. I feel like I'm calling
Yeah,
a
I was
race
going to
here.
say, this could be a whole new career for you.
Almost like an auction.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
So Neil Johnson's winning at 840 at the moment with 30 seconds to run as we pass round the back straight.
We are here to sell. Make no
That's right.
mistake.
That's right. 20 seconds to go. 840 is the winning bid. 900 from Edna Trainer. So 900 is the current
Last
winning
10
bid.
seconds.
Yeah. Edna's learned
10
from
seconds
the last
to go.
auction.
This is the time for all you snipes. Get in there. And 901, that's a bit cheeky. 910 from the Metal Inquisitor. And we're done.
Unreal.
At
Well done.
910, which I actually think's a bargain on those. Just
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
a bit over $45 a pop.
It's been an auction bonanza.
Yeah. Good buying. Well done. So anyone who won that auction, send us an email to sales@bullionnow.com.au. Put in the subject, live stream auction. Give us your details so we can put them into the system, which one that you won, and the amount you won it for, and we will issue you an invoice very, very soon. Pay on the invoice. If you want it shipped to you, you need to make sure the payment gets to us by Monday morning. If you're happy to have them in storage, payment can be within that normal 48 or 2 business days.
Yeah. Perfect.
Good stuff. Following on from those Kookaburras, there was an appearance of a certain Lego item that appeared around the office this week that I thought was very much worth showing off.
I don't even know how do I...
The trauma.
Well,
hold it.
I've actually got a...
Wow. Sorry
It
about
almost was no more.
Oh, I don't know how to hold these.
let me throw up a photo of it instead.
Oh, thank you. Hey, why are you making me try and...
Because it was funny.
Yeah, it worked.
And there's a Kookaburra on a bird bath. Which, I don't know if we need to get onto Lego about making them because that's kind of cool.
That is very cool. Iconic even.
This ticks me in many ways because I love my coins. I love my Kookaburra series. I love Lego. I really didn't like the Kookaburra on a bird bath. So
It says on the bottom here, based on real life sightings.
So I think it's brilliant. I think the person needs congratulating. I think it was a really well thought out thing.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know Lego produced a Kookaburra.
Well, I don't know if it's officially a Kookaburra.
Could be a
but-
bit of a hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that's a Kookaburra.
Again, handballing and following on from that, though, Casey Dillon asked as a part of their questions, one of the ones they asked before, was also about our favourite Kookaburras. Which Kookaburra design is your favourite and least favourite?
Unfortunately, I think Matt and I are going to agree on the favourite.
Yeah.
You want to lead off?
I've got 2. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I'm taking 2.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, there's no rules here. 2008 with the spider web was super cool. That was a great.
I didn't even think
That
of
was
that one.
such a nice way to integrate that, the nature part of it in a way that was subtle but had such a nice design flair to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say my actual overall top dog is the 2020, the 30th anniversary. Just that, that perceived bang for your buck to get two two
designs.
designs on
Yeah.
one coin. So for those that are unaware, they had a...
Have you got a picture of one that you can flick up there,
I
Rubes?
can go chase one.
Well, while Ruben's looking it up, I'll give you a... And for those listening on Spotify, I'll close your eyes, I'll describe it now. So you had the 2020 design, which was a portrait of a kookaburra on a tin roof, which was a great idea, and I think accurate as to where you
I'll
often
vote for
see
that.
a kookaburra. And then on the obverse, you had a reduced portrait, so you still had the Queen Elizabeth portrait, but much smaller, almost the size of a privy mark or a little larger.
Yeah.
And then you had the throwback to the original 1990 design, which we just saw earlier, which is the kookaburra on the stump. So for what it's worth, I think that's my all-time favorite. And I still remember when Bullion Now did the unboxing video back in the early days of the kilos, and seeing that just blew my mind. Seeing that in kilo form was unreal. So there you go. They're my two. My least favorite? I don't think I have a least favorite. We go around the room.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I thought they did a really
Wait,
good
hang
job
on.
with
Is that not a throwback to the original 1990 design? Because it's not on a stump.
Not on the stump. The
Are we
stump
about to
is-
blow up the internet here?
Have we screwed up? We're all hitting
1990
Google really
Wait,
hard.
hang on. I might have gotten the wrong one. Hang on. No, this is me. It's me. I got the wrong photo. Whoops.
You get the... They change it up for that.
I don't know what I've done. I don't know where I've pulled that from. Let me,
That's the counterfeit one.
yeah, clearly.
Hey.
Clearly.
It is, yeah, it is the stump. I think what you've got there is the one of the high relief.
What are you talking about? It's fixed. That's
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
That's
better.
more like it.
A bit worried for a
That
minute
other
there.
one's cool though. That raises my eyebrows. I never looked too closely at that into the proof and high relief ones. I didn't notice that was something different altogether.
Yeah.
all right. What about you?
Look, like I said, Matt and I are going to agree on that one. I love that 2020 design. I thought they nailed it. That was really, really good. And I don't think anyone's going to have to strain their brain too hard to realise what my least favourite would be.
Oh, actually, yeah.
To counter that, I'm going to say my favourite is your least favourite, the Kookaburra and the Birdwell.
Wow,
There
all
goes
right.
your Christmas
Bit
pint.
of-
Tensions in the ranks.
Bit of controversy. And when I was thinking about this, I reckon my least favourite's probably the 2018. It's got kind of the moon in the background of it, and it's kind of passing in front of it, but it looks very skeletal almost. The coloured one I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
quite like, but just the regular 2018 Kookaburra, I don't know, doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, let me rock your world though. Have you seen it in colour?
I have
'Cause
seen
that
it in
looks
colour.
super
and
cool in colour.
It does look better. It is a very different coin in colour.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, actually.
I've
I've never kind of looked at it like that.
It's such a hard thing, obviously, for coin designers to be mindful of how will this look in a bullion finish versus a proof, gilded, high relief. You need to really factor in all the potential be produced
That
in.
there is the one I'm talking about from the bullion point of view. But yeah, that's in coloured. It does look a lot nicer.
I can see what you're saying, but I actually really like it because of the detail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
No.
Does that tie in at all? Is there some sort of nocturnal reference there? Kookaburras aren't nocturnal, are they? They get about a bit at night.
no, not a heck of a lot. I was
Ask
gonna
Michael.
say-
He's the expert.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Don't
the
think so.
authority.
I don't, the thing is, you can say, well, I don't see them at night, but you wouldn't really see them even if they flew past you at night.
That's true.
I don't think they're. It's not something I've ever noticed. Is kookaburras hanging around at night? They're certainly there at dusk, though. At dawn. Have you seen the zombie kookaburra?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was pretty spicy.
Yeah, I think we looked at that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So that one, like when you went skeletal, I went straight to that.
Well, that's kind
Yeah.
of what it makes me
And-
think of, but it's not what they were trying to do. At least that one is very deliberately, hey, this is our
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. No, fair call.
We have to make a bit of a call here, Michael, because I've still got a bunch of people that have emailed through questions that we haven't hit yet. But we are starting to get close to the hour and a half. Are
I think
we?
we need to do the 60
Lightning round,
questions in
yeah.
60 seconds.
You're just going to upset everyone that ask questions. They preloaded their questions.
That's
and
the
we're
problem.
ignoring them.
Last week we encouraged
all right.
questions. Now you've got them.
We'll roll it over to next week. Don't worry, we'll get to them. We'll get to them.
All right.
We'll absolutely get to them.
Apologies to those people that have sent in questions. They haven't been lost. Well, unless there's other ones there
Ruben
that I'm not
has
aware of.
the list, and we will
I have the
complete
list.
the list next week.
Yes. So there's one person in particular, you know who you are, who sent through a big old list of questions. So thank you very much for that. We will get to them. Apologies it wasn't this week.
We got through a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I think we did all right.
Not the ones from their list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've got a whole separate list of questions that they've got for
Well,
us.
we could go for another hour and a half.
Yeah, well,
I
what's
mean,
the
we could.
problem, Ruben? Ruben's always jamming things up.
Guys just like playing good cop.
Star
bad cop.
Wars. Always Star Wars.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
that was an
gee
easy one.
whiz.
All right, so we're going to kick them off. So what we do here is just go through as many questions as we can that people throw up. Try and keep them bullion related. I know some people tend to go walkabout with some of these questions, but we do try and keep them vaguely related to what we're doing.
So we might. Don't be offended if we skip a couple of the non-related ones. But
Yeah.
All right, so kick them off. If you want to ask us a rapid question, we'll answer them as quickly as we can. Who made the baby Yoda coin? Yoda coin?
New
I think that was it's New Zealand mint. It's made in the States though,
Oh.
and we have them here. It's another one of those ones that we haven't. We'll probably just release straight to the web in the not too distant future. You want to go, Rubes, or you want
Keating
me to?
or Whitlam?
Keating or Whitlam? I wasn't a big fan of either of them, really.
Oh, neither. There you go.
2005 kilo cooks, only 2,100 minted. Is there any new me value to them?
A little,
Yeah, kilos are a tough one.
yeah.
You don't usually get monster premiums on them.
Oh, this is not one we can answer very, very quickly. 5,000 reportable threshold to government. Does this apply to unallocated too, or just physical? There's no reportable amount at 5,000.
There's no reportable amount, and it's any cash transaction. It doesn't matter what you're buying.
Currency reset.
What about it?
Yeah,
Metal
well,
tester.
What about
yeah,
it?
eventually. Oh, watch this space.
What was Michael's very first bullion coin pickup to start your stack?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, Mike,
I actually can't answer.
we've forgot a very big topic, Michael.
Yeah.
PayPal.
We'll do this first. Then
All right,
we'll
all
hit PayPal quickly.
He's stalling. Tell
when-
us your first bullion coin.
Yeah, when
I can't remember.
Ah, what a lame answer.
when will the wedge-tailed eagle for 2024 be released?
First quarter.
Is it going to be John McCanty again designing
Yes.
it? All right.
Where can I get a Ningaloo Eclipse coin?
Oh, beats me.
Maples or Eagles?
Maples.
Zig or Zag?
Zig.
What do you reckon? Maples or Eagles?
Maples. Always Maples. I love that was my first ever bullion coin. Maples.
Oh, there you
I always
go.
have a soft spot for them.
Do we do dispatch on specific days of the week?
Sort of. We try not to dispatch on Fridays because we don't like things sitting in depots over the weekend.
When's the Sydney store happening?
Ask me that next year.
Yeah. Well, we've got to get Tassie up and running first.
And Texas.
Yeah, Tassie, Texas, and Brisbane. Then we'll talk. That's how rumours start.
One from Goat. Any chance of some bundles of junk silver, like bags of 100 grams?
I actually suggested that fairly recently and got shouted down on that one. So we'll have another crack at it in the new year, though.
I think it's just another one we haven't seen that much of lately, kind of like the 66 rounds.
Yeah.
Will climate change influence your holiday decisions and destinations?
Nah.
Unless some end up underwater.
Nah,
Be a
not,
scuba trip instead.
not my lifetime.
I'm going to change this one. Do you have a favorite employee? I'm not going to ask you to name a name. Is there a favorite
Oh,
employee?
it has to.
Depends on the hour of the day.
Yeah, that's a very fair shake.
I don't know how Macca's does employee of the month because mine's employee of the hour.
Value of a 2022 kilo Libertad.
Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
game to put that on camera.
Do BN ship orders to the Melbourne Vault?
Does BN ship orders? Yeah. Look, we do sometimes, yeah.
Do we pay spot on a 5-ounce gold bar?
No, 100 gram is the largest that we do. Look, I'm going to stretch this question a little bit. It depends is the short answer. So anything over 100 grams, we say we don't. It's by negotiation. But having said that, if we do have someone specifically chasing a 5-ounce gold bar and we know we can just take it from you and give it to them, then we're more likely to give you that little bit more.
Buffs or maples?
Maples.
What's the max cash payout for sellers per day?
There's no max.
Yep. Scotch or bourbon?
Aren't they the same thing?
We're not educated on this topic.
It's just where it's made. Is this like champagne and sparkling wine? It's the same thing. It's just made in different places.
Yeah,
Bourbon's Kentucky and Scotch is
Scotland.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's the life of the party at the BN Christmas parties? Little slight confession, we're not very good at organising.
Our Christmas party this year happened in what?
No,
August?
our Christmas party last year
Yeah,
happened
last
in
year.
August.
Happened in about August this
Yeah.
year. So we're on fire with those. We need to wrap it up.
Okay.
So call it quits there.
All right.
Okay, so PayPal was actually mentioned a couple of times in there. People have noticed, despite my sneakiness, we've actually removed PayPal as a payment option. And no, we weren't trying to be sneaky. We have actually done a video on it. We just haven't released it yet. Have we
haven't
Rubes?
released that yet.
No, so that'll come out in the next day or so. So the reason we've removed it, and I know this is going to cause some issues because we had an issue with PayPal once before, probably this time. Oh, no, it was probably the start of this year, where we pulled the pin on PayPal, and there was some people that said, "Yeah, get rid of PayPal," and then some people said, "You know,
I only bought through you because of PayPal."
Yeah,
It was,
and look,
it split the community a lot.
For people who live and die by PayPal, I'm going to apologise. The problem, though, is that PayPal have decided in their wisdom that they are no longer going to give sellers guarantees for bullion. So it means that effectively, if anyone claims that there was something wrong with the bullion, despite the fact, and this actually happened because of a case that's going on at the moment, somebody ordered some product, took delivery of it, and we can prove they took delivery of it. 4 days later, they said, we didn't place the order. Mind you, it took, this is kind of 10 days after the order was placed. And so PayPal have never done it before, but at this point they said, we're not honouring the seller guarantee, even though you can prove with a signature that that person picked it up. So we're out X amount of thousands of dollars for the product that was actually purchased. So the same as any business, and I don't care how big you are, you can't sign an open-ended check on these things, and that's effectively what we're doing with this. So we have decided to pull PayPal altogether. Until PayPal reverse their decision, we will not accept PayPal, and I suspect that's a permanent thing. They're not going to change their mind just because Bullion Now is jumping up and down. So unfortunately, PayPal is no more and will not be accepted by us. However, don't panic. We are looking into alternatives, and we think we have one that will be up and running fairly soon, that will still do what we need to do. The only thing that we can see at this stage that it won't do is Ruben, you're going to have to help me here, the 4-week payment thing.
The paying for, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't do that, but it means you can pay by a credit card and all that sort of stuff. So, unfortunately, we've had to pull it, and it's purely down to a business decision. It's purely down to the fact that I'm not willing to lose $3,000 or more at the drop of a hat. Anytime somebody decides that they, somebody here, was it you, Matt, that said it's the equivalent of just leaving an open till so people can
self-serve their change.
Yeah, self-serve their change.
Rely on the kindness of strangers.
The bullion honesty system.
Yeah,
it's just put yourself in my shoes. You're sending out, in this case, gold, and it's 50-50 whether you're actually going to get the money at the end of the day. LCS still accepts PayPal at this stage. That conversation is currently going on as to what Little Coin Shop, which is our sister company, is going to do. At this stage, PayPal is saying they will still honour the seller's guarantee with Little Coin Shop.
Alrighty, but yeah, keep an eye out for a separate dedicated video on that one that should hopefully be coming out soon. Alrighty, on that slightly somber note,
yeah.
I think we're going to call it to an end there. We've got more videos coming out next week. Keep an eye on the website because, as Michael said, we are starting to get close to the shipping cutoff date, but there might be a couple of things that we get up without a video attached to them, but we need to start moving some of these things through before we finish, so keep an eye out. But yeah, we should also have some more videos coming through next week as well. Thank
you very much for tuning in, particularly, everyone actually. But it's great. We've seen lots of new names coming through there saying g'day. We've seen lots of the regulars saying g'day. Always amazes me the people from all over the world. You know, I know John Bush is from the States. There's people come in from all through Europe and all over the place. They make comments as to where they're tuning in from. So we really do appreciate it. We don't take it for granted that you join us for an hour and a half for us. Our banter and rabbiting on and wandering in various directions. 2-ounce lunar gold coin where it should be here either. It should have arrived today, but I believe it's going to be very early next week just to knock that one on the head. That's the 2-ounce lunar dragon. We will be back for 2 more. Count them. 2 more.
2 more
live streams for the year. That's next Friday and the following Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. That's 2:30 Melbourne time.
Yep.
So wherever you are in the world, Google Melbourne time and do a comparison. And
well, if you're here, you should probably know. Although you could be listening on Spotify on Saturday, so that's good.
It could be.
Good to clarify.
So, tune in same time next week and the week after. After that, it will be have a great new year.
I reckon we can turn up the Christmas even more for the next coming weeks. So we might have to get some Christmas intro music. And, maybe a Santa hat or two.
Oh,
we'll see.
I can get the. I can wear my Santa t-shirt. My family's banned me from wearing it except for in December because they're very offended by it. Actually, I possibly can't wear it on camera, can I?
It'll be all right. Alrighty, thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.